Flowers from Colombia, destined for the whole world. And especially Europe. Only the Americans import more. The insatiable hunger for Colombian flowers has fostered an unparalleled industry. Practically the entire region around capital Bogotá has been transformed into a huge flower farm. Picket lines have sprung up in front of this farm. Colombia has few employee rights, and even where they do exist, firms rarely take them into account. The protests are led here by works boss Olga Barreto, who is collecting for the strike fund. She and her 400 colleagues have effectively been locked out because they refused to accept a 50% pay cut. She is expected to survive on $75 a month, in a country with a similar cost of living as Europe. Even so, many new workers were prepared to take the cut, and the protest continues. This strike is all about preserving our dignity. I want to show you just can't trample on it. We're here not just for us, but also for our colleagues, who are still working on the farm. These pictures show just how difficult it is for an outsider to get any kind of accurate picture of the industry. Almost every farm is hermetically sealed off from the wider world. It took a lot of persuasion to get us to the other side of these shards of glass. Even at first glance, the environmental consequences of mass production are clearly visible. Water is a rarity anywhere near the farm. Even the tiniest drop is guzzled greedily up. For many of the employees, there's often none at all left over to drink. But far worse is the use of pesticides. More means more. There's less a dictum here than an obsession. More than 100 kilos of pesticides per hectare are used every year, a record probably unparalleled anywhere in the world. But the pesticides aren't only effective against bugs, it also does a pretty mean job on the farm workers. To save money, many workers, and mostly women, are provided with no protective clothing. Even cheap gloves are in short supply, but without such protection, chemicals and insecticides can seep into the skin. Skin and pulmonary disease, chronic weight loss and serious internal damage are commonplace. The last stop for many farm workers is the hospital. Like it was for Carlos Umbra. He now has to sit on this dialysis machine 3 times a week. For 16 years he worked on one of the many flower farms surrounding Bogotá, usually without any kind of protective clothing. Today, his kidneys are destroyed. Carlos should be able to rely on an invalidity pension, but his employers failed to make the necessary insurance payments. I've done everything I can to get my pension, but everywhere I turn I hear the same answer. Carlos, if we're honest, we've got to say you'll never get your pension because your factory never paid its fees. The region around Bogotá is covered in flower farms. With real unemployment topping 40%, locals will take any job that comes their way. Job security, unemployment benefit, social services, pensions. All alien words to the flower farm's legions of workers. Improvements to employee conditions wouldn't only be easy, but also cheap. A simple harness, for example, would be enough to prevent the frequent back complaints workers here suffer. In an attempt to guarantee such improvements, human rights organisations have developed the flower label. Only factories that meet human and ecological standards can display it on their flowers. Now, what we're looking for when we come to look at these factories are certain basics. Here the employees are wearing waterproof shoes because it's wet. They've got uniforms, they've got gloves, important of course to stop hand injuries, but also to keep off toxic pesticides. And here they've also got a hat on to keep off the sun. At this farm in Tenjo, near Bogota, workers are given pollution masks. Dry, dusty conditions mean asthma is one of the most frequent illnesses at the farms. Treating workers well means the farm has a chance of attaining the coveted flower label. Administrator Maria Carolina Estrada applied because she figures it will mean higher sales in Europe. Recent surveys have shown ethical trading as a top consideration in purchase decisions.
I think in Europe are more care about the environment and the condition of the workers than in the States. I think in the States they don't care if they only look the quality and the price because they are looking for a lower price.
The flower label is in growing demand. Since the terror attacks on the US a year ago, the US market is almost halved and surplus flowers are left to rot. All eyes have turned to Europe. The flower label should help the hard sell to ethical consumers. But each visit for Inspector Frank Brassel reinforces his view that whilst breeders like Pedro Mejia want the label, they aren't really interested in improving conditions. Ede Silva was bullied for her involvement with the trades unions and for campaigning for her workmates. She was made to peel potatoes in the kitchen. The cost of her lunch was 3 times that of non-union members. She was lucky it wasn't eliminated completely.
We're
under incredible pressure. They're watching and controlling us every second of every day and try to play employees off against each other.
Poniendo como los trabajadores en contra de los otros trabajadores. Es ahorita lo que se ve más.
In such a climate, it's a harsh harvest for those seeking the flower label. Nevertheless, it's a big step forward to expose farm owners like Pedro Mejia to independent assessment and criticism. But the control raises Mejia's heckles. He argues against the reforms with the old cost argument. Still,
if the importers would pay me for this, compensate me for this additional cost, I could have it. But otherwise I can't.
Observers on this farm complain that part-time workers aren't even given any equipment. Frank Brassel is unimpressed by the cost plea. Ethically and environmentally sound flowers are only going to make, not cost, money.
Nach unseren Erfahrungen zahlt es sich aus.
In our experience, it's been proven that employees who are well treated are therefore well motivated. And at the same time, such heavy use of pesticides is in fact very expensive. These are 2 of our main points. Thirdly, it pays for itself anyway because the market wants ethical goods, and the more consumers that want the label, then the safer and better the market is.
Damit hat man zumindest einen sichereren und einen besseren Markt.
This certain breed of globalization, contrary to most, is actually helping foster a higher quality of life for many workers. And slowly the owners are starting to understand that their flowers do not only have to look good. More than ever, it's the packaging that counts. It was Rossetti who said, "Flowers preach to us if we will hear. The sermon should hopefully change a few lives for the better."